The majority of people who suffer from breathing problems also suffer from problems that have to do with mucus. Usually, it's because your mucus is either you have too much of it or it's really hard for you to cough up. But almost everyone with breathing problems has trouble with mucus from time to time. But you might not know that the color of your mucus and the consistency of your mucus can actually be a pathway into knowing what's going on in your lungs and sometimes even what's going on in your entire body. So, I'm going to go over that a little bit here. If you're not already looking at your mucus when you cough it up, I know a lot of people think it's really gross, but you do want to get in the habit of doing that because that way you'll know if your mucus starts changing. Changes in mucus can be an indicator that you are getting an infection or some other health problems. So if you're not in the habit of looking at it, go ahead and start doing that. That way you can kind of know what is normal for you, what is not, and stuff like that. So, I'm going to go over the different colors of mucus and what it can mean. So, I'm going to start off with clear mucus. This can be, or always is, completely normal. If you have that clear mucus, it just means that you're healthy, you're hydrated. If your mucus is white, this actually can also be normal. But it could be an indicator that maybe you are a little bit congested or you've been exposed to an allergen of some sort. Now, when you get into the changing of colors, is when you start getting into the not normal colors of mucus. So, if it's yellow, that is a sign of an infection. If it's green, it can be a sign of a more serious infection. Brown or rust colored. So this can be either old blood or it can actually just be mucus that has been in your lungs for a long time. So it one or the other there. And then it can also be an indicator of a very serious infection. So you definitely want to keep track of if you're coughing up a lot of the brownish rust color mucus and let your healthcare provider know. We have red. So if you see the bright red in there, of course, that's going to be blood. This is also something that you would want to contact your healthcare provider about. And then last but not least, I have the pink and frothy stuff. This can actually also be clear. So clear to light pink, pinkish, frothy secretions can actually be a sign of fluid rather than mucus. So this can be a little tricky because you might think that it's mucus, but it could be an indicator of fluid and it might be the actual fluid that is in your lungs that you're coughing up. And of course, this is something you would want to notify your healthcare worker about as well. Um, Fluid can be a sign of something wrong with your heart, but it's definitely going to make things really hard for you to breathe. So, if you have any of these other than clear or white, you want to go ahead and contact your doctor because if you have breathing problems anyway, you do not want the yellow to turn into something else. You want to get that infection. You want to start taking antibiotics right away if the doctor thinks the antibiotics will work. So just make sure that you contact your healthcare provider. Now, also, I had talked about the consistency. So if you notice that your mucus is really, really thick and sticky and hard to get out, that could be a sign of dehydration. So, one thing that will help with that is just hydrating your body, drinking water. If your mucus is thin, really easy to cough out, that's usually a sign that you are adequately hydrated. So, that's a good sign. If you're someone that has trouble with mucus, period, I highly recommend you starting off your day with a little dropper full of something called Breathe. And kind of get it a little bit closer there so you can see it. This will actually, it's an expectorant, so it will help you cough mucus out. It also has something in it that will help thin your mucus out if it's really sticky. So this is very beneficial. It will help you clear your lungs out essentially. And it's really easy. You just get one dropper full. It tastes good. You just drop it on there, one of these every morning, and it's really going to help with your mucus. Set that over there. But it's just very important that you start looking at your mucus, keeping track of what it looks like, notifying your healthcare providers about the look and the consistency of it so that everybody can be on the same page and you can start really taking care of your lungs.